You want to show your all the magic, right? Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the A.I.R podcast where we live and breathe creativity in hopes to spread joy to all. So, we've done part one of a two-part series. Previous episode you have met Tim, and today we have part two of this special guest appearance. We have Ben Fullman. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, mate. How are you?
I'm alright.
Yeah?
A bit warm.
It's a bit warm.
Yeah.
Because you set this up.
Yeah.
Looking
Production
good.
value, you know?
It's looking good, my friend.
Yeah. A bit about Ben is he's director.
Yeah.
I'll say that more. And with Tim, they both actually work together a couple times. I think for a good period, you guys come in like a pair when you make films, and that's also a bit of how I got to know them and how you guys have done so many great things together. Thought it would be nice to have both of you on.
Definitely.
So yeah, just to show you guys a bit of what Ben does, here's a quick little snippet.
Everyone is normal in their own little world. To them, we probably look just as odd as they do to us.
Hello, Mr. Chapman.
Report to somebody inside. Let's check these rooms and get the hell out of here. I don't want to be here all night.
No, that's only for a couple of hours and she won't just move on. What happened?
All the amazing things you've seen.
Chase the stars, make your mark, be someone important, yeah?
All right, so that's a bit about what Ben does. How about I give the mic to you so you can give a proper introduction in case I butchered anything.
Yeah, no, definitely. So yeah, I'm Ben Fullman. I am director and co-owner of Cornwall Film Company. Cornwall Film Company is the brainchild, if you'd like, of Tim Seifert and myself. He is the California part of it. He's from California, and I'm from Cornwall, so I'm the Kerno part of it. So not a lot of thinking went into the whole idea, let's put it that way. But no, we formed the company so that we can actually make films. We specialize in narrative form, so feature films, and we talk about problems more so than anything, really. The films do touch on families and drama and that sort of stuff. So that's our kind of niche, if you like. That's what we like to tell, or those are the stories that we like to tell. Yeah. But yeah, it all started with Terminus. So we started with a short film called Terminus that Tim wrote and directed himself, and I shot and edited it. And we just loved that whole process. And so then we were like, well, could we do this on a bigger scale? And that's where Nowhere came from. So we made Nowhere, which is a feature film. That was Tim's directorial debut. I produced that one. And we learned so many lessons that it was just natural that we were like, we've got momentum. So Pieces of Us came about. And that was my directorial debut.
So 2 feature films.
2 feature films now, yeah.
To let you know, Nowhere is actually out available on Apple TV.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to watch it, we'll put a link.
Yeah.
Plug it in. But yeah, so that's kind of how, because you guys go way back.
Yeah.
Quite a few years, isn't it?
Yeah, well, Tim and I, we met, I think, to be honest, we've always been in the production circles in Cornwall.
Yeah.
Tim very much from a writing and acting perspective.
Yeah.
My side is more from the production side.
Yeah.
There's many things that we can call upon to say this is when we first met. Like, for example, he was a redcoat in Poldark. So he was a redcoat. So one of the extras is a redcoat in Poldark, and I was a third AD on it.
Okay.
So I was kind of ushering him around, telling him where he needed to stand and that sort of stuff during the night shoots and stuff. And yeah, like I say, we've always kind of been in the same circles. But Terminus, during the end of lockdown, was actually the first time we actually went, could we work together? So yeah, that was it.
Was it like after lockdown? Or
It was basically the point where you could only have 5 people.
Yeah.
You could only like meet 5 people. And so it was like, okay, let's get 2 actors, Tim and I, and then one more person to basically just help run.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's what it was. That's what we did. So during lockdown, we made a short film with 5 people.
And that's basically your first pilot project, I guess you say.
Yeah, it was to see whether or not we could work with each other and the style of filmmaking we could achieve.
Yeah. So you had a background in film, so you did film studies, film production.
But I was actually it was quite late to the game for me.
Okay.
I was a mature student when I went back to college. So it all happened really when I became an extra on World War Z. So I hadn't ever thought about working in film before. Didn't think it was an opportunity for myself. And then I became a World War Z extra. Got to basically share a lift with Brad Pitt, stare rather intimately with Matthew Fox in a corridor, and even got the director to sign my World War Z book that I have on my shelf. And from that moment, I was like, this is a world that I want to get into. I was just inspired. And the one person that I was really, really inspired by was the director.
Really?
And because he would come out of Video Village, and of course back then I wouldn't even know what that was.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know what he's doing. But now, it's Video Village. He just steps out, has a quiet conversation with Brad Pitt, and then walks back in, and then
That's his own thing.
that's it. And it's just like, I'm like, I like that. That looks fun.
Do you actually see what he was doing in Video Village, or were you just like...
No, it was a completely
Really?
sealed box, so I couldn't see nothing.
Was that because you don't know, you got more curious and he's like,
Exactly,
you want to do
yeah.
it?
So then, like in the evenings, I was on the phone to try to get onto the Cornwall College production courses.
Yep.
Where basically I joined, and just to kind of get myself just a bit more understanding of what it takes for a production and what roles I could potentially do.
Yeah.
I excelled there, ended up skipping a year to go straight to university, because they just literally released a new university course for filmmaking.
Okay.
So I joined that and did 2 years at Cornwall College, and then had to top it up with a further year or 2 to get my full degree. And I took that opportunity to actually go to the University of Creative Arts in Farnham, up in Surrey.
Yeah.
So I did my 2 years extension there, where literally you are really thrown into the deep end with film. That got me ready to step up to the next level.
Yeah, I got a friend who just graduated that actually.
Yeah,
last year.
it's lovely. Even the certificate you get from it is awesome. But yeah, I came out with a 2-1 in film production, where I majored in directing.
Yeah.
So I was taught everything with directing in terms of how to work with actors, how to do all the kind of work, and that set me up. But that's not where it all began, unfortunately, because in actual fact, when I came back to Cornwall, I realised that there wasn't that many opportunities, unfortunately, for film.
Yeah.
And it was hard for me, because I knew that I was leaving Surrey, an area where, you've got Bourne Woods, which is basically used for every single major motion picture film that has woods. You go back to Gladiator, for example. That very beginning scene, that was all shot in Bourne Woods, which is near there, and you can walk around it freely.
I mean, and you're so close to London as well.
Yeah, exactly. We literally could see London from one of the from one of the woods and stuff. So to be torn away from that opportunity was hard, and so I had to readjust. So I actually became a social media officer at Shelterbox, which is a charity down here.
Okay.
And that is where I just kind of learned more about how to tell stories using people's emotions and really looking for the details in like their facial expressions and how you can get a story across by just someone looking in a particular way and looking at the eyes specifically. So that in a way helped me to be able to tell the type of stories that we tell now, which are quite emotionally driven, character-driven stories.
Then what was like university, Ben, like when he was directing, what kind of stuff was different? How have you evolved from that?
When I was at uni, all I wanted to become was Spielberg. Like that was
Blockbuster.
it. You know, it was just like, that was it. I was like, I just want to make Spielberg films. I just want to, and in all honesty, the reality of that has set in where I hope maybe one day that it will come.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, the university was great, but it did set you up to think that when you step out of university, you're going to get the job at the top.
Yeah.
And it's not the case, unfortunately. You've got to work your way up to that.
Yeah,
So-
because directing is technically like it's basically the top.
Yeah,
Top.
and
You never
there's hundreds of thousands of people going for that job. It's
Yeah.
the top job. It's the job that everybody wants. It's the one that gets all the glitter and all the the glam of it. Especially if you do well in a film. But you're also where the buck stops if the film doesn't do very well either.
Yeah,
so
'cause
that's the problem.
It's a double-edged sword, basically.
It is, yeah. So when it does well,
Yeah.
you're seen as a champion. But if it doesn't do well, then that could be your career done. So it's very difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I left university, as much as I would love to have said that I stepped out and walked straight into a directing job, that wasn't the case.
No, I mean, it's hard to get a job straight out of uni in film that way,
Yeah.
anyways, right? I mean, I'll be honest, it took me a while just to get a job here. But funny enough, like you talk about your stories, Pieces of Us is where we met.
Yeah.
That's actually my first freelance job out of uni.
Okay.
I think, when did we shoot? We shot in July.
July last year, yeah.
Yeah, last year already. And I think that was like the first time. Yeah, that was basically one of the first jobs I did straight out of uni. And then things kind of went from there.
That it was,
Yeah.
to be honest, California Film Company is something that we're very passionate about using. I say using is the wrong word, but utilizing and bringing on board students who've just recently graduated. Even if you're still at uni, we would have given you the opportunity because from my perspective, giving you your first proper credit is important.
Yeah.
But universities these days are actually doing very well in terms of, and you obviously came from Falmouth, right?
Yeah.
Is that they are teeing up you in such a good way that you're green to a live production, but you have all the skills. You know what you need to be asking. You know what you need to be looking for. So for us, it's amazing for us to be able to give you that opportunity to work on a live set. And I remember, we had one of the runners who was doing some of the clapping work.
Yeah.
And one of the things was in someone's face, they literally hit it really hard.
Yeah.
And it's that, just to let you know, soft sticks.
It's
Call
a
it
thing.
out, soft sticks, and make and just by knowing that means that hopefully when they do step onto a bigger set, they don't get caught out by it.
Yeah, but it's one of those things like sometimes uni can't teach. You just have to keep learning the traits and stuff.
But on a bigger set, you'll be thrown off.
Oh yeah.
and that's not fair.
Yeah.
Whereas we're like, it's all good. We're not going to throw you off.
Yeah.
We want to work with you, and we want to get you ready for the bigger step.
Yeah.
So that when you do step on set, I mean, when I think about Poldark, I never done AD work whatsoever before.
Okay.
And I was just basically helping out in the extras costume part. And I got called to say, oh, you're going to go up set. I'm like, okay. And the thing is, and I'm sure most people can relate to this, even if I was completely scared, but it's like, if I say no, that's my opportunity gone.
Yeah.
I have to just say yes, and I'm going to go for it, and let's just go with it. I'll just,
The set will still move somehow.
Exactly, and I just got to make sure that I don't embarrass myself too much when they go, who is this guy? Let's get rid of him.
Yeah.
So when I stepped on set, got given a radio, got told to basically stand on the side of a cliff with Aidan Turner and all that, literally going around, and big horses and crew everywhere. And I'm like, honestly, radio calls, I couldn't understand what they were saying. They were saying stuff, and I was like, I don't know what they're saying.
I'm more surprised you can hear it through on the cliff when it's probably that windy.
It was lovely weather, to be fair. When we shot, when they were shooting Poldark, I think it was the first season, the weather, I was burnt to a crisp because it was gorgeous weather, so I was quite fortunate. But no, I mean, I got to stay on set for 3 or 4 weeks. I was there for a good time. And for the whole time that they shot in Cornwall, I learnt so much. But honestly, that first day,
scares you.
they were saying stuff on radio, and I'm like, I don't know what they're saying. I don't know what that means. All right, whatever. And then
Uh.
tea break came, and I'm like, what are we having tea for? I'm like, okay, cool, that's nice.
I mean, I went on so Pieces of Us, I met a few people, then obviously I did stuff with them. I went on one set where it's like, with Americans, their language is so different from the British language. And you just listen to it, it's like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Every set's different. The thing is, every set's different.
Yeah.
But the funny part is, Pieces of Us, you guys had JT, Jake, and Thomas. And I actually know them from uni when I first started in the first and second year. And then in Pieces of Us, you had Robin, Joe I did film, I basically studied with them. And then Sinead also just graduated as well.
Yeah.
And funny enough, Sinead's now on a few other sets as well. So I think you guys also set her up quite well.
It's one of those things, but the thing is you guys actually had proper roles.
Yeah.
You know, Robin was the first AD of it.
Yeah, Joe was script
In
soup.
no way, shape, or form should he be allowed to come off of uni and go straight into that role. No other production would probably do that. But for us, we're like, well, no. If you can show that you can do it,
Yeah.
and it was a steep learning curve. I mean, and that's truth for everybody.
I think day one was a steep learning curve.
It was massive for everybody, but it's one of those. And that would depend on the person and whether they have the ability to sink or swim. And at the end of the day, you all did an amazing job. And at the end of it, what was nice about it, and I think this is the truth for a lot of indie films, is that I felt like everyone believed in the project. I felt like everybody believed in the story, and I felt like everybody believed in where I was taking you.
Yeah.
And that's all I can ask for.
I mean, it was one of the most fun 2 weeks.
Good.
I'll be honest, it got tiring towards the end, but like any production has that there.
Yeah.
But I think everyone was very happy afterwards. So basically, fun set.
No, good.
We will say the first day was the hardest.
Oh, yeah.
I think logistically as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because context, when we were on Pieces of Us, it was day one. I probably only knew like Robin, Sinead, everyone. Haven't met the rest. Met Georgina, then you and Tim for the first time, and Henry. But that was the first day where everyone had to get used to each other as a warm-up. And it was also the day where we had one of the biggest number of people on set. So there's a lot of like extras, more acting. It's not like just the two main cast or anything. No. So that was a tough one.
And the thing is we've learned from that in terms of actually for the next one that we work on, we're going to do a lot more pre-production in terms of we don't want people to turn up completely green and completely cold. We actually want everyone to almost have, and that's why ultimately a lot of productions will use the same people, because I don't have to do the whole, hey, let's break the ice and how do I work with you and what's our lingo? Yeah. You already got that. So that's why a lot of productions will always go back to the same people, and it's very hard to break in because of that. But when you do break in, you're in. Yeah. It's on you then if you want to muck it up.
How will you say that? Because when you first came here, right? Was it helpful? Have you tried breaking in? What's your like story like for trying to like really get into the Cornwall circle? Because I still don't think I'm inside, but I'm still like, but I just get to know more people and stuff like that. Like,
I think that's the key. You've got to, especially when you're just starting out, you've got to say yes to a lot of things. Yeah. And you just got to throw yourself at it, but find the crews that are constantly working. Yeah. If you can find the crews that are constantly getting work, and you get to be part of that little group, then you'll keep getting those jobs that are coming through. Mm-hmm. It's just a little bit of a numbers game when you're first starting out. As a director, it's very hard because as a director, you're at the top, and generally a director's already on board way before the project's even thought about. So from a crewing perspective, it's easier. So, if you do specialize in sound, especially sound's tough.
Sound's always in demand.
Sound's always in demand. But, with camera, just make sure that you understand all the different lingo, all the different types of things that is going to be required of you, and that's your job. Mm. But, all the different crews, find a group that are constantly working and then get yourself in there.
And like for you, because when you didn't know where you were producing, right? Mm-hmm. Was there a reason, even though you wanted to direct, or was there just something you were like, I'm going to help with this project in any way I can? Or
so so the producing kind of fell upon me. It wasn't something that, producing's never been something that I've been interested in doing. Sounds silly because it's something that I'm sure I do well, but we had a producer involved,
Yeah.
but who was potentially having some, could bring some money on board too.
Yeah.
But that just fell through. And in the end, it got to the point where Tim and I was like, we have to do this. One way or another, we have to do this.
Yeah.
And so we were very, very fortunate that some money came our way.
Yeah.
And out of Tim and I, we kind of looked at each other and went, well, we need to come up with a budget plan. We need to come up with all the things that a producer needs to produce when you think about making a film. So I was like, okay, well, what's the least amount of money that we need to make this? And that was it. What's the least amount of money that we can do to make this? And we did it. And we came in budget, and we did everything that we needed to do.
Yeah.
And so the producing just kind of fell in my lap. It wasn't necessarily something that I kind of was like, yeah, I'm excited to do this. And don't get me wrong, it teaches you a lot of lessons. But for Pieces of Us, one of the main things I kind of said was I don't really want to produce, because what will happen is, from a creative perspective, you start to go, I want this, I would like this location, or I want this and I want that. From a directing perspective, going, I want to use this, but my producer head is saying, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. So I'm already putting boundaries up. So it's very hard for me to differentiate those two roles.
Yeah.
So for me, directing is the thing that I love and I'm most passionate about. That's the thing that drives my kind of, my passion of film.
Yeah.
So if I am able to just concentrate on that, I will.
And will it help you? Because I remember when you did that, you also said you edited it, Pieces of Us. What's the difference in barriers there then? Because since you have to put barriers for yourself.
Yeah, the editing is actually
boundaries.
quite interesting, because the thing is, I think as a director, it helps if you're able to piece it together in your head whilst it's being filmed.
Yeah.
So when you're doing the story, I do storyboards.
Yeah.
And then with storyboards, I'll also then obviously play it through back in my head. If I'm able to see the edit before I go in, it makes it so much quicker, because when we're on set, I can go, I need an insert of this. People go, why do you need an insert? I'm like, I know I need it for something. So when it came to the editing, I gave myself a few months off.
Okay.
But because I'd obviously storyboarded it and did a lot of the work, I already knew that we already had the film. It's just whether or not I could piece it together correctly.
Yeah. Was it hard for you to because it's obviously you put it on the shelf, wait for it, and give yourself months. Was it hard when it's just on the back of your mind, or?
No, it's not. And I think you have to have a little bit of emotional detachment from it.
Okay.
So when I came to it, and the thing is, I knew full well that as soon as I sat down to edit, I wouldn't be able to stop. So I made sure that I was in the right mind frame of going, as soon as I start cutting, I know that I won't be able to stop. So I just need to clear my head and make sure that I'm in a good place. And that's what I did. So when I did finally sit down to edit it, I just cut it. And it didn't take me long to cut it.
It didn't take you long?
Not at all.
What,
no.
a week max?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe that.
For an hour and a half?
It was, the first cut was an hour and 45 minutes, I think it was.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then?
But again, the trouble is when you're so passionate about it, and again, I've already seen it in my head, I've already pretty much cut it in my head.
Yeah.
It's just a case of just putting the sequences together and hoping that it came out as you wanted it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, they came out the way you wanted it, at least?
Yeah.
For the most part?
Yeah, for the most part. I think the thing is, for most directors, when they see the rushes, they go, oh, that's not what I thought. So there's always an element of, oh, maybe that's not how I envisioned it. I mean, I've got a lot of short films that I've not shown the day of light because they don't meet my expectation whatsoever.
Yeah.
This film was one of those where actually I watched and I went, okay, cool. That's pretty close to what I had in mind.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be very cinematic. It was supposed to be very still, very kind of, very different to Nowhere in a way. And that's, that's where it came from. And so when I watched it back, I was very, very happy. And I know most directors are not happy with their first cut. And they're like, oh my God, what have we done? And they have to work really hard to get it back to where it should have been. Yeah.
And I mean, the film did well. It got a few selections. Well. It got an award for Best Indie Feature, right?
Yeah, Best Fiction at the
Newcastle
Northeast International Film Festival, which was up in Newcastle. That was amazing. Yeah.
And obviously, we're going to wait for a few more to come in.
Yeah. Well, the thing is the festival circuit for us, it's very different to what we were with Nowhere. So with Nowhere, we kind of just entered it into a lot of festivals. without really a proper strategy.
Yeah.
Whereas with Pieces of Us, we wanted to have a bit more strategy and actually get it to places. And one of the key things is to get a BIFA qualifying festival.
I mean, you did
Yeah,
already.
and that's the Newcastle, the Northeast International Film Festival. That was the one that did it. That was our first one. So we got into that, and came away with a really nice award for it.
The trophy's really fun.
I should have brought it with me. But yeah,
I'll show a photo of it.
insert photo. But no, I mean, and what's nice about that is the caliber of films up there were really good. So in all honesty, I was thinking to myself, it was getting towards the end of the award ceremony. I was like, okay, well, we haven't won. That's cool. We got to be shown. That's the important part.
People saw our film.
The film got to be seen by people I don't know. That's the cool thing. In a really nice cinema called Everyman up in Newcastle, and it was amazing. And then literally out of the blue, best feature fiction film, and they kind of called Pieces of Us, and I was shocked, and I was like, okay, this is completely out of the blue, but okay.
Were you like, did I actually hear that correctly?
Yeah, it was America going, oh, okay, we won, so that's amazing. So an amazing trophy for it, which is great. So we just. And then we had our screening at the Cornwall Film Festival, which was really nice. It sold out. Yeah, sold out.
I couldn't get tickets as well.
No, I apologise. Even I didn't have a ticket.
Yeah, that was the thing. When you told me you couldn't even get a ticket for yourself.
No, I didn't have a ticket either. So, but it was actually quite interesting, because in the past I've always been in the screening. I always watched the film with the audience just to see if I can get a reaction for how it's done. Yeah. But it was actually. It's actually interesting because obviously we watched the film so many times, and as probably my biggest critic of myself is me. I do see the film now with a different lens where I'm like, oh, I wish I changed that, or I wish I did that differently, or I wish I could have done that better. And so which means then I start to pull away at it, and it becomes not the look at the achievement we've done. Yeah. It becomes the okay, I can't wait for the next one to start work to rectify those things that I wish I could do better.
Yeah. But it's like, you'll probably look back in a few years like, oh, this was actually really good. It went well. Yeah. Was it funny though? Like, so how do you know when to go in for the Q&A? Did they just tell you like?
We knew how long the film was, so we just set a timer and sat outside.
So you just waited outside there, like?
Yeah.
Had a drink.
Yeah, had a drink, had a good chat. Yeah.
With Louise? Was it with Louise?
Yeah, Louise Fox. Yeah. So I mean, I'm very thankful for them, because the thing is, for someone who obviously is from Cornwall, it was important for me to be able to show the film made in Cornwall and from Cornwall. It was important for me to be able to actually play the film at the Cornwall Film Festival. It meant so much to me. So I am very thankful to the Cornwall Film Festival, and obviously for Louise to be able to find a space for us to film. But it was lovely, and the reaction was great as well, which was really, really nice. I think that's the key, is people seem to love the film, they understand it, and that's all you can ask for, really, from a director.
I mean, Louise is fun. She does try to help out. Because I finally got a chance to meet her, actually.
Okay, good.
This year. Really nice. But yeah, pizza was fun. But I think let people who don't understand how it works in film festivals or like short films, you normally make a film. It's not like you put it on the cinema, people buy tickets and stuff. You normally send it to festivals. Yeah. Try and get awards, and then you think about like distributing it, like Apple TV, for example.
Yeah, I mean that's the trouble is, as soon as you finish a film, you're not really finished, because there's then trying to get it out there. Yeah. And I think the thing is for us, it's important to get it to festivals, because you hopefully get it seen by lots of people. Maybe get some accolades, like the laurels and that sort of stuff, which just gives it a little bit of a boost. People kind of go, it's validation, if like. Validation. It's validation to say, my film is good, people do like it, it's won these awards, it's been official selection of these places. Yeah. So that's why we had a bit of a strategy to go for bigger festivals that we might not have an opportunity to get to, but if we don't try, or if we don't go for it, you know what I mean, you never know. So,
and there's always a balance between finding the right ones, because sometimes like insights, like sometimes you just fit the lineup better as well. You get selected for that. You fit the genre.
Let's be honest. Some of the film festivals are just some random guys sitting in a basement
going, watching it.
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, that'll do. And it's like, well, I'm not going to get much from that. And that's the horrible thing, is you spend a lot of time making a film, and a lot of people's hard work goes into it. Then you have to pay to put it into these festivals. for it to kind of just not be seen by the right people or not
Yeah.
get the right opportunities or even get the
Yeah.
opportunity to network properly. I think that's the key. These film festivals should be more networking than anything.
Yeah. Do you manage to network then in Newcastle? How was that like?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a few networking opportunities there. They did like a coffee morning in the mornings down in the hotel that we were staying at, and obviously at the award ceremony, got to
Reception.
talk to a lot of people. And of course, again, when you win an award, a lot of people will start to come up to you and go, "Oh, hey, great for winning an award," and start giving you your business cards or start talking to you. So to get that accolade, obviously people then go, "Oh, well, that must have been good."
Sometimes you might have to you still have to push it yourself first, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then for like people who don't understand film, what's the way like people normally fund it? Because you said you had like people bring money in. Is it like investing, crowdfunding? How does that normally work for bigger projects like indies?
Yeah. So I mean,
Without needing to share it too
yeah,
much.
no, sure. No, I appreciate that. No, so we're very fortunate. We have an angel investor.
Yeah.
But for the majority of filmmakers out there who are looking to make films, it is very, very hard to finance a film.
Yeah.
Thus the reason why it's very important to make sure that your film could be done for the zero amount of money that you can possibly make.
It's just
Keep it to
business,
one
isn't
location,
it?
keep it to one actor, just make a feature. I think that's the thing that I've learnt the most, is the fact that in terms of, from a financing perspective, you could make a feature film with the right crew backing you for as little money as possible.
Yeah.
And just get that feature under your belt, because you'll learn so many lessons. You'll learn about how to pace the film.
Yep.
And to kind of have the stamina to shoot something for that long. I mean, we've shot both films in 2 weeks, and don't get me wrong, it is a tall ask, and it is a tall ask to shoot in 2 weeks a feature film. But find the right script that kind of the story that you want to tell, and make it for as little as possible. Yeah. And the thing is there are incentives out there, so there's tax credits and stuff. So a lot of producers will say, "Hey, we can make this film for X amount of money, and not spend a dime until they've done the tax credits." Okay. So there's a bit of loophole there. I don't like doing that, because I want to pay my crew the day we re-wrap, you see. Yeah. So I don't like doing that, and we're in a very privileged position to be able to not have to worry about that. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, look for sponsors, look for all that sort of stuff. I think that's the important thing, is just find ways of financing your film. There are money, there is like grants out there from like BAFTA, BFI, and all that sort of stuff, but they're very, very tough to get. Only a select few get them. And they go through like so many stages. It's like interview stages, clearance, first one. Yeah. Does your investor like have a say in it, or were they like a nice like do what you want? No, they do have a say, and I think that's important to. Yeah. If you do have someone financing the film, it is important to make sure that at the end of the day they're paying. It's almost like they're paying for art. Yeah. They're paying for like a commission, painting. Basically. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So they have to be aware of what's being done, and that's where obviously from a producing perspective, making sure that you're budgeting correctly and that you're keeping a tally of everything that's going on. Yeah. Just so that you can try to keep under budget. Yeah. That's all you can try to do. Have they like affected the film in any way in terms of like what they want, or was it so nice where we've got a very good working relation, and I think that's the key, is the fact that we've been very, very fortunate to have quite free reign in a way. But if they have got strong views on something, then we listen and we kind of... It's a collaborative thing, and I think all filmmaking is collaborative. Yeah. So if something doesn't work, but someone really loves something about something, then we'll talk about how we can find a mutual agreement. But I guess like he or she would have known already, like early on what Piece of Us was going to be already. Yeah. And like the vision's kind of already there. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and then you obviously, I think everyone from the crew, or like 90% of it, is all from Cornwall as well. Yeah. You engage in all the locations of Cornish. You met a lot of people. To be honest, everything is Cornish. In all honesty, the only thing that's not from Cornwall is just a couple of the actors. Yeah. In all honesty, the rest, everybody else is from Cornwall. But it just fits the story. It makes sense with the story, isn't it? Because especially when Tim's American, there's a bit of American storytelling to it as well. Yeah. I mean, you shot at our uni as well. Yeah.
Was it different? And like, just because you said before Cornwall's smaller, like the community's not as big as London, it's not as like happening. Is it different when you like tried doing films in London and here, where it's like, because it's so small, people want to help you more? Do you feel anything different about it?
Yeah, I think the thing is it's very quick to, especially as filmmakers, I think we can feel quite lonely, especially as when you're directing, you can feel quite isolated, quite alone. And sometimes you just need to ask a favor.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of the locations we had, in actual fact, all we ended up paying was for the food for the crew.
Really?
That's it.
So
we
like,
just struck a deal. 'Cause we had to feed the crew.
yeah, of course.
So we just go, well, what if we just buy the food for the crew
Okay.
and cover heads that way? And they were like, yeah, cool, no worries.
So they're all just that nice that way.
You know, and like I said, it's difficult to ask sometimes. It is, and obviously you don't want to burn a bridge and go, oh, can we use this and use that, and then you end up doing something wrong or going over time, and then they kind of get a bit angry. And but as long as you're respectful, and I think the thing is film can take longer than people expect, and they take a lot more people than some people expect. I think when you turn up with a bunch of crew and they're not ready for a bunch of people coming in, they can be a bit standoffish and be like, oh, well, this is not what I agreed on. I thought it was just one or two people.
Did that happen on Pieces of Us where they asked about it?
No, not at all. And again, because ultimately, Sarah Turk, who was obviously our locations manager, she was completely open with them to explain what it is that we're doing, how many crews going to be here, what we need in terms of you know, logistics, utilities, and that sort of stuff. So I think it's important to make sure that you are talking like that, if that makes sense.
I mean, most of the locations there were quite self-contained as well, so it's quite easy, wasn't it?
They were, yeah. We were very, very fortunate. But I mean, you had like the is it Cafe Rock, the one in Marazion, where we shot, and they were still open downstairs, so we obviously had to contend with that in the, you know, in the sounds and stuff. Chris Baker, who's the sound recordist and extraordinaire in the post work. Honestly, I don't know how. I thought that scene was done.
He's fixed it.
But he fixed it.
He fixed it.
You don't realize that they were open downstairs, clanging around, people talking. I don't know how he did it.
I mean, Chris is crazy at his job.
He's a wizard. He's good. But again, but again, going back to that crew thing. Yeah. Chris will be our sound guy.
But you've worked with him a lot, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so he'll be our sound guy until he says he doesn't want to do any more with us. And so it's very difficult then. So if you are a soundie looking to get in, it's like, well, we'll bring you in, but you're going to be working under Chris.
Yeah, Chris is the big guy.
Chris is our guy. Yeah. So but you can understand why we would do that.
If you met Chris, very funny humor.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah, but very good at his job.
Yes.
Love it so much.
Yeah.
And I love his cart. He has the push cart with all the equipment. That's one of my new things. I want to get a cart.
A good cart.
Then I thought the beach one was the hardest.
The beach was hardest because it was the last day, and it was a beautiful day, and we were just hitting basically the start of the kids' break, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The school holidays.
Like the worst place when the weather is so good, it means everyone goes out.
Yeah. And the thing is we were very fortunate. The fact the beach was pretty much empty until probably about 11, 12 o'clock. Yeah. We'd already been on set for a very long time then.
We were there since 7?
It was early.
8, I think.
But again, with that, we just had to pay for parking.
Really, the location, everything was...
Yeah, just had to pay for parking, that was it.
Sarah did such a good job.
She did. She did an amazing job. So, I mean, that's the thing. Without the work of everybody on that, it would have been a lot more. So, and I think that gives us the charm, is the fact that because we are a Cornwall production company, hopefully Warren's Bakery, we basically paid for pasties for people whilst we were shooting in St. Just, and they met our order, and that was probably where we had the most crew and the most extras and stuff was obviously at the gallery on those 2 days. But yeah, I think I can't remember now, but I think they gave us a discount for using them for our food and stuff. So again, it doesn't take a lot to give you good food, your crew good food on set.
I think they gave you free donuts or something.
Yeah,
I remember.
free donuts,
I
loads of drinks. It was good.
Lots of sugar.
You need it, but no, it was.
Yeah.
But again, if there's one thing that I wish that I could go around to these places and just thank again, because without their support, and they're in the credits, and
I saw their logo.
But they are in the credits because they deserve the thanks, to say thank you so much for supporting. Because if we hadn't had that support, we probably wouldn't make the film.
It just didn't click in my mind. Like I forget their logo, but everyone in the crew just remembers the Warrens days.
There you go.
But apart from California, I've seen you also. I did like a few projects, and you were just helping on set and stuff as extra. And I think a few other films, like there's a few other shots, I just see your name in credits and stuff. Do you just do that as well for fun, or how do you balance between what's California for you and all that?
So it's very difficult for me, because I do have a day job that is completely different to the creative work.
Yeah.
And so I have to have a balance where, it's generally on the weekends or in the evenings, and it's more if I can be supportive. Mm-hmm. If I can turn up to set just to help mentor, if that makes sense, to help somebody who maybe just new directing or just wants someone with an extra eye or pair of hands to be like, I can help you here. I'm more than happy to do that, especially with some of my friends. Again, it comes back to that support. We've got Henry who's really passionate about making films and doing showreel stuff for other people.
Yep.
He's helped us many times.
Yep.
It's just the right thing to do, to offer that support back to him whenever he calls for it. So if he needs a runner, if he needs a first AD, if he needs...
Because you helped him, I remember, direct one of the show reels.
Yeah.
I know, because I was editing it.
Yeah.
That's how we got called in.
And again, it's, I don't claim to be the best director, but just to take that burden off of him so that I can help to offer some wisdom. I don't know what that wisdom is, but that's it.
Something's working.
Yeah, exactly.
Then, I mean, now... I'll say in context, Tim's kind of like moved out.
Yeah.
The Fornia side. Has it been changing now? Anything progressing with California, or what's the plan?
Yeah. So in terms of the next things, we're currently cooking, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the term to use. But we're just gathering ingredients right now.
Yeah.
There's a few storylines that we've got, mainly about grief.
Yeah.
Which is important for all of us, I think.
Yeah.
I'm writing. I've got some ideas that I'm actually writing myself, but Tim's written something already that I'm waiting to get. It's on the way.
Okay.
He's not sent it via mail, but he's just making some tweaks. So,
yeah.
So I'm hoping to read that very soon. But I think the thing is again, we're very collaborative.
Yeah.
And the stories he tells are very specific to his he's got a niche, the way that he tells his stories. And I'm very thankful for that. So I think whatever story he comes up with is generally quite unique and something that is very tailored to Tim, and you can kind of tell Tim's writing
it.
So it's lovely for me to be able to do that and then take it in he then trusts me to then turn it into some sort of vision. So we're working on what the next project is. We haven't got it in concrete yet, but it's going to be bigger. It's going to not bigger, but more in the way that we want more time, we want more pre-production time and that sort of stuff. So, we, with every single project, you need to be always going up.
Yeah.
You need to always improve on something. And I think we've done that massively.
I mean, if it's technically, I guess if it's your third indie film feature, you have been more efficient because you had more experience already doing that. Yeah. But also, fun fact, Ben also won an award for like one of your scripts, isn't it? Like a while back. You did a screenplay, and I saw you got like an award for it. So
So I mean, and I think the thing is, obviously, as a director, you want to tell stories. But I think I can't remember that one's for now. Was it Corridor? I think it is.
Yeah, it was the Corridor one.
And again, that's a short idea that I've got, which is basically a guy goes into a hotel and doesn't realize that actually he's basically transitioning from life to death.
Okay.
And each door is a memory of a time that was bad for him, and he has to reconcile those days so that he can actually go further, go to wherever he needs to go, you see. So it basically, he starts in his own hotel room, then goes and meets death, and then as he exits that, another door opens where he goes through and he has to relive a traumatic day back in his past.
Yeah.
And he has to reconcile those to kind of fix them.
Okay.
So yeah, that's that story.
It feels like you and Tim have like similar styles of like
Yeah.
grief. Because most of the films I've seen with like Tim was like Pieces of Us. That is, it's very emotional. It's very narrative, without spoilers. There is obviously some form of like grief involved.
Yeah.
And then I watched Down, also kind of a crazy story about it. Was that something you just choose to? Was that an easy?
I think
pivot?
it's
Is
maybe
this
I think it's just maybe the stage in the life that we are in right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think, not going into too many personal details, but I think there's certain situations that we're currently dealing with where grief is something that's quite on top of our minds.
Okay.
But I think maybe not so grief, but more to do with family.
Okay.
The family connections and how complex families can be.
Yeah.
It's not always sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes it can be a bit,
Yeah.
almost like the duck analogy, where it looks like they're swimming on the water nice and calm, but underneath they're
Paddling really
paddling
hard.
like
Yeah.
like hell. And I think that's it. That some families just need that type of work.
And then you just bring it into storytelling.
Yeah, and I think that's where our stories start, is from a family perspective.
Yeah. Because I think after California, things just keep branching out after that. So I guess you guys have a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, I mean, I like my sci-fi, so hopefully he writes me a sci-fi film one day. But
And then you get to make a sci-fi film.
but the thing is right now that's our jam and our kind of our bread and butter, if you like, is those types of stories.
Because clearly you are a sci-fi fan.
Oh yeah, Massively.
Clearly Star Wars.
Star Wars, and
Would you ever love to do like write stories based on that kind of thing, or would you still prefer more of like the emotions?
It's very difficult. I think many years ago probably yes, but nowadays there's so much opinion on what is a good Star Wars and what's not good Star Wars. That if you don't do it right, you're again shot in the water. Kind of like that's your career done.
Because I feel like so many strong sci-fi franchises now. We have like Star Wars, Star Trek, Warhammer.
Yeah.
Then Paramount did Halo.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you don't do it right,
and people are very opinionated about it.
People are very opinionated. So I think the thing is I'd rather just, again, our style of making something that's unique to us, but give it a sci-fi kind of.
Do you think people, like when you did all the California stuff, right? Were you scared of that kind of thing where people were opinionated about how they portray Cornwall?
No, I think the thing is quite interesting you should say that, because Nowhere is very different to Pieces of Us in terms of the aesthetics.
Yeah.
Nowhere really shows what Cornwall's probably like 90% of the year.
Yeah.
It's very run down. It's not the prettiest of places.
No.
And there's, and obviously everyone from the outside kind of sees Cornwall as this picturesque holiday escape.
Yeah.
Whereas Pieces of Us does show Cornwall in quite that nice.
Yeah, especially when we shot in such nice weather in the summer.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean there was one day of complete rain, but no, I think that's it. It's nice to be able to show Cornwall in its heart, in its light, and in its best. But I think there is definitely an aspect of showing it in its true light too, because it's not always sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, proper Cornish people be like, as long as Cornwall's on the film,
they're
happy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, this is Cornwall. We know it. I think it's the same because obviously I'm doing a TV show with Beagle. Can't share much, but it's obviously showing Cornwall, and people are just like, it's in Cornwall. That's it. We're happy.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is. We just want to know where it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there anything we can expect coming soon, or anything you would like to share?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's, like I said, we're working on the next film, and I think that's something that's important for us as a company to keep pushing forward whilst we can. And I think that's really the only real big update, if you like, is that I think Pieces of Us will always continue to go down into the festival route, and I think fingers crossed for the new year we'll have a few more festivals. There's more American festivals that are coming up, so fingers crossed we can get it out. So the cycle,
you have to wait for that cycle.
Yeah, exactly. So unfortunately I don't have any news to share today, but hopefully keep track, because obviously we can we'll be sharing it on our socials and stuff. But obviously we'll put that all in the link.
Was it hard for you and Tim since he's on the other side of the world now? Like,
It's funny, really. I think the thing is it's quite funny. No, it's not, because we are very fortunate with technology these days.
yeah, that's
That he still is able. Like, we literally had a meeting earlier this afternoon.
okay.
Where I get to obviously see him and talk to him and that sort of
He
stuff.
must have woken up really early for that.
Yeah, well, it was he'll either phone me really early in the morning, or like, so we have our like meetings that we have
Yeah.
schedules and stuff. So he's like, I think 5 or 6 hours behind.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
So like slightly later in the evening or like slightly earlier in the
Yeah.
morning. Okay. 5-6 hours it's not as bad as I thought.
No, it's not too bad.
But again, I don't actually know where he is now. He's moving around so many places.
Yeah, no, I don't actually know where he is right now. I know that he was in Mexico quite recently, and I don't know where he's gone now. So.
Yeah. Because I feel every other week he has
Yeah.
gone to a different place.
Yeah, it's lovely. I mean, honestly, the
He's
pictures are
living his
something.
life.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know the man can tan even more. He's normally quite naturally tanned, because he loves the beach. He loves to surf and that sort of stuff. But obviously, by being in South America, he's just getting so much sun. He's looking good.
Wait, is he more tan now?
Oh yeah.
I can't tell from the photos.
Yeah, no, he's looking really tan, so it looks really good. So getting a lot of sun.
I will definitely drop him a message about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, because last time when I met him, he was just about to leave.
Yeah.
And then we shot this, I think, the night before he left.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
So it's kind of like slightly a while back, but he's doing well.
Yeah.
But in any last messages you like to share to anyone?
The only thing I would say, mate, is like you're doing, really throw. If you really want to work in the film industry, it's not a million miles away, and I think you just got to throw yourself at it.
Yeah.
And it's an absolute pleasure to work with you, and like I said, I hope this comes. I hope I do this justice, because it's lovely to support you, and that's
thanks.
what we do. California and myself and Tim,
Yeah.
we just want to support people who are like-minded. So
Yeah.
get in
And
touch.
of course, help out. I will link California and Ben's, I would say, social media handles.
Yeah,
Would that be
cool.
fine?
Yeah, fine.
Would it? Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, please drop a comment. We will get back to you with any questions you may have for Ben, anything he does, anything about film. But yeah, Ben, thank you so much for taking the time.
No problem at all, my friend.
And of course, we'll see you for the next episode. Bye.